Welcome to Root Words, a podcast that explores agriculture and cooking's role in connecting us to our landscape and our communities. I'm Stephen Abatiell. Root Words is a collaboration between Vermont Farmers Food Center, Shrewsbury Agricultural Education and Arts Foundation, Shrewsbury Historical Society, WEXP, and many other community members. The project began in 2017 and was made possible by support from the National Endowment for the Humanities, as well as from this community. Throughout this podcast, you're going to be hearing stories from people around the Rutland County region in the heart of Vermont, a region rich in agriculture, family farms, a region that's a pastoral working landscape. These stories are going to be each little windows into what a regional food system really looks like on the community level. We're excited to introduce you to some passionate folks working with the land and with food and bringing communities together. So please pull up a chair and enjoy. In this episode of Root Words, we're going to explore some of the differences between deciding to shop at the supermarket or at the farmer's market. To delve into this, I wrote up a typical grocery list and brought it to the supermarket and then to Rutland's downtown Saturday farmer's market. And this is what I found. Okay, so my grocery list for this week. I've got some bread, multi-grain bread, arugula, corn tortillas, radishes, a greens mix, a spring mix, dozen eggs, about a pound of sausages, mozzarella, ground beef, and apples. Pretty typical list for a lot of folks, and we'll start at my local grocery store. Now, something that I think people assume, and certainly I do, is that you pay maybe more for your food or for things purchased at a farmer's market than you do at a bigger grocery store or supermarket. And it's something I've always been interested in testing in my own life, in my own shopping list. Now, cost is just one factor we can look at when we're comparing the supermarket to the farmer's market. Selection is another big one, too. In Vermont at this time of year, or any time of year, you can't necessarily get coffee or rice or maybe beans, dried beans at the farmer's market. Some farmer's market, we do have some farmers that do carry beans, but it's not something maybe you can get all year round. And certainly you're probably not going to find something like a mango at your local farmer's market. In our modern lives, there are just some things that we're going to need to get from a grocery store, a supermarket, or maybe a buying co-op. But I made the grocery list I did because all of these items were seasonally available in an early June market. The supermarket has brought us the convenience to be able to buy bananas, body wash, and birthday cards all in the same location. It's provided an efficient, frictionless buying process, and sometimes that's what you're looking for. And because I went through the self-checkout aisle, I spoke exactly 3 words to other people on this shopping experience. Sorry, excuse me. Not exactly a community-building experience, but great if you're in a hurry or just peopled out. My grocery list in the supermarket came out to about $45. Now it's time to head to Saturday Farmers Market. There are about 75 farmers markets in Vermont that run year-round, bringing you seasonal produce as well as other value-added products and prepared food. And if you take a drive at this time of year down one of Vermont's many backcountry roads, you might find yourself upon one of Vermont's 110 or so farm stands, where farmers are selling directly to their neighbors and passerbys just like yourself. Farmers markets, farm stands, and community-supported agriculture, or CSA shares, are just some of the ways that farmers are marketing directly to consumers. And in 2017, the total from those direct market sales to consumers came in at around $73.5 million, of which It's estimated that about $15 million were spent at Vermont's farmers markets. Unlike the grocery store, the farmers market is a place that you can connect with your neighbors and your farmers and the other folks that are producing your food. Katie Stickney is a young farmer that helped introduce me to Market Day.
So market begins at 9. So I think we tend to meet here around 6:30 and get the van loaded with all the produce and market necessities, and then head there by around 7 and start setting up hopefully by around 7:30. That's always the goal. We go till 2, and I love customers, and it's great to just have people excited about what we show up with. But it's amazing because I always feel so much more exhausted at the end of a market than I do like in a day in the field. Like my jaw hurts. Like it's just like it's so funny.
because it's all like this people connection that you've been singing to the plants.
Yeah, I love our customers. I love people, but I'm definitely a bit of an introvert. And so, 5 hours of pretty nonstop talking and chit chat is, can be exhausting.
But normally you can send them over next door to Mr. Greg, right? He's got enough talk for everybody at the market.
That's good. We all have our thing that we're good at.
How are you? I'm doing great. Good. What do you got out here today, Greg, at the market?
Oh, what do we got? We have all kinds of tomatoes, from cherries to heirlooms to regulars, herbs, starting with the herbs, peppers, different kinds of peppers, and then we got all the cold crops. We got lettuce and kale and broccoli and cabbage, and it's getting to be that time of year. Next week, hot peppers, zucchini, cucumbers, summer squash, kusa, and all the vine crops. So, looks like we have beautiful weather. So people are getting itchy. The ground is getting ready, and the plants are looking for a home. It's a great time of year.
Greg, like many farmers and vendors at the market, is like a live farmer's almanac.
Awesome. Opening day was spectacular. We have continued the pipeline of new businesses, so folks that come down, there's a lot of new faces. I think we have 15 new businesses setting up at market. So it brings new talent and new products and new personalities to this wonderful family of farmers market vendors. It's pretty awesome. So,
Is that do you think of the farm community here as a family?
Absolutely. We all work together. It's like it's not competition. It's cooperation. And together, this is a supermarket. Literally, we can compete with any of these international corporations, and we have something better than a direct connection to the person that grew or made your product. We do it for passion, and we hope that profit is a byproduct. If you only do it for profit, you never do it as well. These plants, they're my children. It's not product. It's not something. It's not just get them out the door. It's not the corporate mentality of stack them high and watch them fly. This is like, I want visitation rights to my vegetable plants. When people buy them from me, I tell them what to do. I tell them not to buy it yet and not plant it yet because you're going to put it at risk. I make jokes about basil and saying don't put them near a weather report because if they hear a chance of frost, they'll die. So, how are you?
Good, yourself?
So, people come here because they can find out everything they want to know. We're transparent.
How much are you? These are the San Marzanas that I was looking for.
Yes, that's the best taste tomato there is.
So.
They're $3 a pot. They're nice. They're big. They're healthy.
And per what you were just saying, is it you think it's okay to set them out, or do you still have to be careful?
I would harden them off first. Look not at daytime temperatures. Look at 50, 50, 50 at night.
One of the great things about having access to the farmer that grew your vegetables or raised the meat that you're taking home is that you can learn about those plants and animals and get some insider information on how to care for them in your own home or how to prepare them in your own meals.
Do you have is that the spring mix down at the end there?
Yes, it is.
What can you tell us about that spring mix, Greg?
Spring mix. Salanova, brand new lettuce, maybe 5 years old, out of a breeding program from the Netherlands. Salanova, new lettuce.
Okay.
Amazing. 8 varieties. They only come pelleted, and so they are made for the way the plant structure is that when you cut them, almost all the leaves are the same size. Lettuce typically grows older leaves, bigger leaves, younger leaves, smaller leaves. So when you try to make like a mesclun mix, it's really difficult if you're using like a green leaf and a red leaf lettuce, because some leaves are too big. If you cut leaves, you tend to have ends that could turn brown. So this one cut, 8 different varieties: green butterhead, red incised, green incised. I can't even remember all of it, but there's 8 of them total, and they all are different colors and different textures.
All right.
That's a beautiful salad.
And how much was it? $4.25?
$4.25 for a bag.
All right. What do you think I'd pay in a grocery store for that?
Probably about the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably about the same. But you won't find that in a grocery store.
Right.
Because they don't grow that.
What are some other differences in cost and quality?
Well, you've already paid for 20% of it through your taxes, subsidizing industrial ag. It's got age on it. It's been shipped an average of 1,500 miles. Almost definitely, it's been fertilized with chemical fertilizers. It has almost definitely been sprayed with some sort of insecticide. And it's not supporting a local economy. Your money, you go into those supermarkets, automatic doors, beautiful produce from all over the world, and you spend your money there, and it goes into the night deposit at the end of the day, and it's teleported out to God knows where. So in an economy where we all are like worried about the aging of Vermont, and if you spend your dollars and send them somewhere else, jobs follow dollars. Your kids grow up, there's less opportunity here. And so we have, not just people, but communities have been commodified by multinationals, industrial. And local food builds an economy. Health is based on nutrition. So the healthier the soil, the healthier the plants, the healthier the animals. And guess what? We're an animal. So you build community, you build health, and then the value of a community, you can view it as potential. And if you are not getting all the nutrition, like a plant or an animal, if you're raising them, you have less yield. With people, we have less potential. So our community is not as valuable as it could be because we're sick.
By the time I got through my grocery list at the farmer's market, I had spent $55 with local vendors. Remember, I had spent $45 at the supermarket. The difference between the supermarket and the farmer's market was only $10. Now for some folks, a $10 difference in groceries really does make a big difference, but for me it's manageable. And I wanted to know, What am I getting with that extra $10 I'm spending in my local community?
What are the differences? Supporting a local community, supporting cleaner food that hasn't traveled as far, so it's more nutrient dense, and your money recycles. Every dollar spent on local food generates $2.6 in economic activity. There's no growth.
So as a farmer here, when I buy this bag of spring mix, where's that money going to go?
I might go to S.E. Smith and buy a bag of ProGrow to fertilize my soil with Vermont organic fertilizer. And so that builds an economy. Think of an economy, a local economy, or local food, like a checking account. If all you do is write checks and send it out somewhere else, pretty soon you have no money left in the account. That's a local economy. If we all spend all our monies and ship it out of state, then our community becomes poorer. And so you build community wealth, you build community health. It's pretty cool. And you give your kids an opportunity to potentially stay here.
One of the kids that stayed here is my friend Julie and her son Marco, and I ran into him at the market.
I've paid the same price for salad greens, radishes, and I guess you can't even get garlic scapes in the grocery store. So, at the farmer's market today.
So yeah, typically people think that it's going to be wildly more expensive.
Yeah, but it's also better quality. You're not going to buy that package of greens that's rotten in the middle. So, and the price is comparable. When things go on sale at the grocery store, they're usually rotting. So.
And you don't chat with your friends there.
That's true also, the community, yeah.
Which is sometimes a plus.
Sometimes it is.
You want to shop, sometimes you don't want to talk to people.
I'd rather talk to people out here than in the grocery store, though.
Right, yeah.
It's just like...
Yeah, sometimes you want to breeze through and do your shopping. But do you take him out as like a day out?
This is a day out. I don't take him to the grocery store.
Yeah.
This is fresh air. He gets to see, I don't know, it's just more interesting for him to be outside and
he likes the
see the colors. And
he likes the microphone.
He's waving to you.
Say hi.
Oh, say something, buddy. He's jibber-jabbing all the time.
The market brings the jibber-jabber out of a lot of folks.
Oh, just great, local produce, supporting the local people, really, is what it's all about. Go to Price Chopper, you don't know where the stuff's coming from, So all summer long, we look forward to this. We grow our own stuff, too. What I'm doing now is getting my starters for my garden, Oh, sure, yeah, we've been coming here for years. We're local, we're here in Clarendon, so... Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. Some of the stuff's a little more on the more expensive side, but I don't have a problem with that because they're supporting the local guys,
Mm-hmm.
They work hard for what they got.
Yeah.
I know what little bit of gardening I do. It's hard work.
A lot of market vendors are producing value-added and specialty products. Yoder Farm down in Danby produces dried beans, popping corn, apple cider vinegar, fruit-infused vinegar tonic, which is great with seltzer, and the corn tortillas from my grocery list. And while Rachel Yoder, who serves on the board of the Vermont Farmers Market in Rutland, staffed the market table, handling EBT and Crop Cash, both great support programs that help make local food more accessible to more people, and something we'll talk about more on future episodes of Root Words, I dropped in for a visit with Ryan Yoder, who I had been warned about.
Oh, he's also a good talker, for sure. Yeah, he's well versed on a variety of subjects. No, he's good fun. Yeah.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's
I'm
that
doing good.
gizmo?
This is my recording
Is that
gizmo.
your time traveling device?
It is, yeah. In a few weeks, it'll allow people to time travel back to this place and time
Oh, cool.
via the airwaves.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Trippy, man.
I just wanted to buy some, do we have arugula today?
I do.
You do. How much is the arugula?
$4 a bag.
$4 a bag.
Yep.
Awesome. What can you tell me about this arugula, Ryan?
It's delicious. It'll make you a smarter, better person with a higher compassionate index
Okay. All right.
and
Sold.
extra strong teeth.
Nice.
Yep.
And where was it grown? Around
It doesn't
here?
groan, it usually screams, but
Oh, okay.
when it does grow, it's in Danby.
Okay. Right on. Mm-hmm. I think I'll get some. You got tortillas?
Uh-huh.
I think I'll do a small
Got
package.
tortillas,
Small
Wapsie
package.
Valley corn.
Where is that?
It's called Wapsie Valley corn, it's the variety. We send it up to Burlington to All Souls Tortilleria,
Oh.
who now also makes flour tortillas that are muy bonito. Like, wow, they're doing a good job of that.
Good.
Killer tortillas, man.
You look at, we're lucky here in Rutland County because we have some of the most dynamic farmers markets, summer and winter. And that's opportunity. At the farmers market today, you have maybe 75, 80 vendors, businesses. Don't call them vendors, businesses. And that's creating opportunity. We've lost most of our local options. We've recreated our local food options. Now we need to create the local options for bookstores, for clothing stores, for specialty shops. We need to be able to spend our money in our community and help create jobs. Everybody talks jobs. We are in the driver's seat in creating jobs by spending our money with our neighbors. That's how you create jobs. Right now, we're creating jobs somewhere else.
Yeah. We're creating jobs somewhere.
Wow.
Less jobs.
Less
somewhere
jobs
else.
somewhere. Because it's here, and you get, most farmers pay really good money. My son just finished up 8 days at Laughing Child Farm. $16 an hour. That's a livable wage. He's 24 years old. That happens a lot. If you were working with Andy Farmer at the Northern Vine Supply over in Pollock, he's paying a livable wage. Most farmers, to get good help, they're willing to pay to get that help. That's job creation.
That extra $10 that I spent at the farmer's market on this day made it to my farmers, and then in turn to local tractor supplies, hardware stores, and seed companies. Some of that money will one day send my friends' kids to school, and some of that money goes to support local farm workers like my friend Katie.
Yeah, I think it provides a great quality of life. It is to me a living wage, all the produce you could imagine, a great learning environment, and just a community of folks that at least I've had the good fortune of being able to show up at the farm and just love working with. I don't think it gets much better, for work.
Vermonters spend around $2.5 billion annually on purchasing food. About $310 million, or about 14% of that, is on local food purchases, according to data compiled in 2017.
You could walk up to almost anybody and say, is it cheaper to buy your food at a supermarket or at the farmer's market? I guarantee you, the vast majority of people would say the grocery store. That's not true. It's not true. If you shopped this market as if it was a grocery store, you could save up to 20% on your produce. Maybe not by shopping certain growers, but if you shopped around, when we're into cucumbers and they're still getting $1 a piece, you can get a cucumber from Charlie Brown for 50 cents. Shop smart. Collectively, this is Rutland's supermarket.
I agree. Some super folks. Awesome. Well, Greg, it's always a pleasure.
You don't have to lie to me.
I'll be seeing you
Enough
again.
people lie to me. Why
I'll
does
be
it have to be
seeing-
you?
We'll see you again soon, though.
A2, Brutus?
And I'd love to come check out the farm again.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty beautiful. I love, like I said, Boardman Hill is a cross between the Shire and Camelot. I am part of an ecosystem, not in charge of anything. I'm just another organism on the farm. It's a pretty awesome place to be.
Knowing your farmer is about knowing your food system, and it really connects you with the place that you live. I checked back in with Katie to see how she feels about her place in the food system, growing for and purchasing from her friends and neighbors.
I mean, so I'm just thinking back, pre-farm life. I was just so far removed from my food source, and it's hard, it's hard in the kind of culture that we have, the value system that we have. I think to have a deep relationship with it, I just can't imagine going back. I find, community, certainly, being able to literally hand someone their weekly produce, that's incredible. So the relationship that comes from that, and I think just knowing that there's a self-sufficiency aspect as well, where I don't have to rely on like a larger grocery chain or something for my daily needs. That's been hugely inspiring to my own way of life.
Yeah, that sounds like empowerment to me. That sounds empowering. In a way that maybe that was lacking in when you didn't have such a direct connection to your livelihood and sustenance.
And I think it also just lends itself to so many other things. Like once you start being able to be self-sufficient in that way, at least a percentage, of course, like I'm still occasionally buying citrus at the market and things like this, at the grocery store. But I think that has lent itself to other aspects of my life. And like, oh, okay, so how could I do this myself?
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to work that in.
Okay.
Well, Katie, this has been super fun to talk with you. Thank you so much for giving us time.
Yeah, thanks.
In my time exploring the differences between shopping at the supermarket and the farmer's market, I found that price wasn't as big of a difference as I thought it might be, and that the price difference I found on this day at the market was creating a really positive local impact. I also got to spend a beautiful morning outside catching up with friends and neighbors. Supermarkets do play an important role in our communities. They can employ a lot of people in a small town. They also can bring us a selection of products from around the country and around the world. Many grocers support community causes, and the Vermont Farmers Food Center has received support for its Food as Medicine program, Pharmacy, from Hannaford's. Over 700 Vermont farms benefit from selling directly to retail markets, institutions, and food hubs, totaling $54 million in sales per year. However, there are trends towards mergers and supply chain simplification that make it more and more difficult for Vermont producers to capitalize on supermarket sales. And direct-to-consumer sales are usually going to put much more of the sale price into the farmer's pocket. The trend now, though, is that more people are buying from their local producers each year and supporting their local communities and creating more opportunities. This episode of Root Words was produced by Stephen Abatiell, with special thanks to Greg Cox, Katie Stickney, and the Yoders. Research from the lab of Dr. David Connor at the University of Vermont was referenced for some of the data presented in this episode, as well as information from reports created by NOFA Vermont. Our musical themes are by the Saltash Serenaders. We are a project of the Vermont Farmers Food Center and SAGE. Thank you all for listening and for being a part of our local food system. This podcast has been made possible by generous support from the National Endowment for the Humanities. We'll catch you next time on Root Words.